Adou Thiero is exactly what the Los Angeles Lakers need right now, and if you're a fan who's been frustrated with the team's inconsistency, their struggles with defensive identity, and their inability to properly build around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, then you're going to want to hear this. Because this is not about hype, it's about fit, it's about a missing piece that solves multiple problems at once, and it's about a player whose development arc and mentality scream Lakers basketball. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break down why Adou Thiero is the kind of player who doesn't just blend into a roster but transforms it, why his skill set is tailor-made for what Los Angeles desperately lacks, and why his future could very well become one of the smartest investments this team can make. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why Thiero might be the secret weapon that helps reshape the purple and gold into the powerhouse fans demand. The Los Angeles Lakers are in one of those critical windows that define a franchise. On one hand, you've got LeBron James, still playing at an incredible level despite being deep into his 30s, a once-in-a-lifetime superstar who continues to defy age. On the other, you've got Anthony Davis, a defensive anchor and offensive weapon who can still dominate but whose health and consistency remain constant question marks. The problem is, the supporting cast has often been a revolving door of patchwork solutions players who either don't fit the system, can't handle the pressure of the Lakers' spotlight, or don't bring the versatility needed to complement the team's two stars. That's where Adou Thiero comes into the conversation. Unlike some of the veteran stopgaps the Lakers have brought in, Thiero represents youth, energy, and a skill set that not only fills gaps but elevates the overall roster. So who is Adou Thiero, and why is his name buzzing in basketball circles? At 6'8" with a wingspan that makes him a matchup nightmare, Thiero is a defensive juggernaut in the making. He's not just tall, he's athletic, strong, and versatile enough to guard multiple positions. That alone should perk up the ears of Lakers fans, because one of the biggest issues for this team has been their inability to consistently defend wings and perimeter scorers. Too often, the Lakers get shredded by younger, quicker, more athletic teams that simply outpace them. Insert Thiero, and suddenly you have a player who relishes the defensive challenge, who thrives in transition, and who gives you length and hustle on every possession. That's exactly the kind of motor the Lakers have lacked in their role players. But it's not just defense. What makes Thiero truly exciting is that he's not one-dimensional. His offensive game is growing rapidly, and it's clear he's not content with being just a defensive stopper. He slashes to the rim with authority, he finishes strong through contact, and he has that instinct to cut at the right moments, which is invaluable when you're playing alongside a playmaker like LeBron. Too many role players freeze up or drift into the background when LeBron has the ball, but Thiero's style is active, always moving, always putting pressure on defenses. That makes him dangerous without even needing to dominate the ball. And when you consider that LeBron and Davis thrive when they have teammates who understand spacing, timing, and effort, Thiero's game looks like it was designed in a lab to play next to them. Let's also talk about mentality, because in Los Angeles, it's not enough to have skills. You need toughness, resilience, and the ability to play under pressure. Thiero's background shows a kid who had to fight for everything, who wasn't handed the spotlight but earned it through grit and constant improvement. That mentality matters more than people realize. Look back at the Lakers' history, and the players who thrived here weren't always the flashiest names. They were the guys who embraced the grind, who brought energy every night, who didn't back down from the weight of the jersey. Thiero has that edge. He's not scared of physicality, he doesn't shy away from challenges, and he has the kind of mental makeup that screams Laker material. Now, some fans will ask, do the Lakers really need to focus on a young developing player when they're trying to win now with LeBron still on the roster? That's a fair question, but here's the truth: if the Lakers want to sustain success, they can't just chase aging veterans every season and hope it clicks. They need a balance. They need youth injected into the roster, and they need players who can grow into stars while learning from the legends currently leading the team. That's what makes Thiero so intriguing. He can contribute right away with his defense, athleticism, and energy, but he also has a ceiling that's far from reached. That dual value, immediate impact and future upside, is exactly what smart franchises invest in. Think about how the Lakers' championship run in 2020 was built not just on LeBron and AD, but on role players who knew their jobs and brought maximum effort. Now imagine a version of that roster, but with a player like Thiero who adds defensive versatility and youthful energy. One of the biggest issues for the Lakers this past season has been their lack of consistent perimeter defense and their inability to stop second-chance opportunities. Teams out-rebound them, out-hustle them, and punish them on fast breaks. Thiero checks all those boxes. He rebounds well for his position, he doesn't take plays off, and he has that rare instinct for being in the right place at the right time. His transition defense is elite for a player his age, and his ability to recover after getting beat means he's never truly out of a play. That's the kind of skill that frustrates opposing scorers and electrifies teammates, the type of effort that swings momentum in playoff games. Lakers fans know all too well how small details can decide close games, and Thiero is the kind of player who thrives on the details. On the offensive side, the Lakers have too often relied on isolation plays or forced shots when defenses collapse on LeBron and AD. Thiero brings a different look. He can be used as a cutter, as a rim runner in transition, and even as a developing spot-up shooter. That balance makes him a threat in multiple areas, and defenses can't just ignore him. Imagine LeBron driving into the paint, drawing two defenders, and instead of kicking it to a hesitant role player, he finds Thiero slashing for a dunk. Those are momentum plays, those are energy plays, and those are the kind of sequences that energize the crowd at Crypto.com Arena while demoralizing opponents. But let's zoom out even more. Think about where the Lakers are heading. LeBron won't play forever, and eventually, the franchise will need to retool around Davis or whatever core emerges post-LeBron. Bringing in a player like Thiero now gives them a chance to start building that bridge. He's young, hungry, and his skill set projects upward in a way that aligns with the modern NBA's switchable defense, athletic versatility, and adaptability on offense. If the Lakers are smart, they'll see that investing in Thiero isn't just about filling a hole today, it's about setting up for tomorrow. The Lakers have a history of stars, but their success has also come from blending those stars with the right role players at the right time. Thiero fits that mold perfectly. Now, of course, no player is flawless. Thiero still has areas to polish, particularly his consistency on offense and his shooting range. But that's exactly why the Lakers are such a great fit. With LeBron and AD commanding so much attention, Thiero won't be asked to carry an offensive load right away. Instead, he'll have the freedom to grow his game in real time, learning from one of the greatest playmakers in NBA history while refining his jumper and decision-making. That's invaluable development, and it's the kind of environment that could accelerate his trajectory. In fact, this situation reminds me of other young players who blossomed by playing alongside veterans who taught them the nuances of the game. Thiero could be next in that line, using the Lakers' platform not only to showcase his potential but to sharpen it against the best. The Lakers' front office has made its share of mistakes in recent years, often chasing big names or flashy moves instead of focusing on sustainable roster building. Adou Thiero represents a different kind of move, one rooted in fit, effort, and upside. It's not about grabbing headlines, it's about solving real basketball problems. He gives them length on defense, energy on the boards, athleticism in transition, and a mentality that complements the stars. That's not just a piece of the puzzle, that's a cornerstone of what modern championship teams are built on. When you look around the league at the teams consistently competing deep into the playoffs, they all have players like Thiero, guys who can guard multiple positions, run the floor, and play unselfish, high IQ basketball. The Lakers need that desperately, and the fans deserve to see a team that isn't just leaning on LeBron to do everything. In the end, the question isn't whether Adou Thiero has talent, it's whether the Lakers are smart enough to recognize what he brings and act on it. Because this is exactly the kind of player that can redefine rotations, shift defensive intensity, and help shoulder the load in ways that don't always show up on the stat sheet but matter in winning basketball. And make no mistake, in a city like Los Angeles, winning isn't optional, it's the standard. Thiero embodies that fight, that hunger, and that willingness to do the dirty work. That's why he's exactly what the Lakers need. If you're a Lakers fan watching this, ask yourself, do you want another season of patchwork fixes, or do you want to see the team invest in a player who actually moves the needle long term? Because Adou Thiero isn't just another name, he's a fit, he's a solution, and he's the kind of talent that could make a real difference. And if the Lakers want to get serious about maximizing what's left of LeBron's window while also preparing for the future, this is the type of move they cannot afford to miss.